Hey everyone, I'm doing a course with Michael Neill at the moment on effortless being, doing and working, and we had an exercise today that I thought was really cool, and it brought up some interesting thoughts and interesting realizations, and I thought I'd just do a short video to share those with you. And what the exercise was effectively scrunching up a piece of paper, picking a point on the wall, or if you had a bin, and then just throwing it in and trying to be as effortless as you could. And if you were super effortless, you'd give yourself 5 points, and if you weren't so super effortless, you'd give yourself a range of one to 4 points, with a bonus point for if you actually hit the target or got it in. But the interesting thing is that a lot of the people in the course, including myself, and this is something that I've been aware of in the past when I played pinball, when I did climbing, or when I could play computer games, is that they found that the harder they tried, the harder it was to actually hit the point. And the harder they tried, obviously, the less ease they had, the less ease that they came from, the less ease that they felt. And invariably, what happened also was when they hit the target, maybe from a ease, or maybe from trying, like a pushing feeling, it then became important, or there's some kind of significance around, oh, I did it, oh, next time I'm going to do it as well. And invariably what happened was that they missed, they totally shanked the shot, and they totally missed. And I think what this says to me, or I know what it says to me, is that it comes to life. Like when I myself have gone into situations and tried too hard, invariably I've kind of like, what I commonly talk to my clients about, or talk to people about, is kind of like going down a dark alleyway. And it's like you kind of like, the main road is like kind of in the flow, in the moment, like cars of thought are coming, and you're kind of like, whatever. And you don't get attached. But once you kind of go down the dark alleyway of habitual thinking, you kind of go darker, it appears darker and darker and darker, and you start to kind of like get caught up. You get caught up because you don't see the bigger picture, you don't see what's outside what your focus is. And it's exactly the same thing for the exercise that we were doing, in that when you start to kind of focus on the results, or trying to try hard, that's when we go down that dark alleyway, and we don't have the bigger picture as clearly in our view. We don't have access to that big picture as clearly. It's still there, 100% it's still there, but it's more difficult to kind of get new thoughts. It's more difficult to kind of be in the moment, and we just feel heavy, and it feels dark, and it feels difficult to get out of that position. But and this is, kind of, if we approach life from that, then it is going to feel difficult, it is going to feel hard, and it is going to feel like an effort. But yeah, when we've got too much on a result, I'm laughing because I've lost my train of thought a small bit. But when we have too much on the results, and we try too hard, then invariably we kind of like don't have that clearer picture, and things get harder, and we're not actually our best self, or we're not necessarily who we'd like to be in that particular moment, which is that free being, that free self. But when we don't have anything on the result, and this is something that we found, a lot of people found in the exercise as well, is when we don't have anything on the result, then we're just free to kind of just throw the ball. We're free to throw the ball. We're free to throw the post-it note, in my case. And the more likely we are to hit the target, because we don't have anything on it. We don't have anything on it. We're free. We're in the moment. We're kind of like, we access that bigger picture. And actually quite a few people, or not necessarily quite a few people, but 2 people in my group also said that when they were kind of coming from that free flowing thought or state, then actually new ideas came up to them. They're like, oh, maybe if I tighten the ball a bit, then I'll be better at doing it, and things like that. And that's what happens in life as well. When we haven't got so much going on a result, then kind of new ideas, new innovative ideas come up, because we've got access to that bigger picture and not stuck in that small dark alleyway. And it's another thing that really came to me as well, and it's something that actually I talked to Michael Neill about, and it was about the arbitrariness. I'm not even sure if that's a word, but I'm gonna go with it. But the fact that, you know, the points were 1 to 5 on how little or how much effort you got, and you know, whether you got a 1 or a 2, a 3 or a 4, or a 1 or a 5, it was totally, you know, totally up to me or up to the participants on what they gave themselves. And what that signified to me, or what I got from that, was that, you know, in life it's exactly the same. You know, who is the arbiter of whether we get a 1, 2, 3, 4, or a 5 in our own efforts? Like, I don't know, whether you're in business, or whether you're trying sports, or you know, or whatever. Like, who is the arbiter of whether we get the 1 to the 5? A lot of the times it's us. Well, I pretty much say, and this is one of the statistics I use with my clients, and it's totally wrong, but it's just kind of a joke. But it's 99% of people. 99% of people are the ones that classify or give themselves the oh, you did a good job today. Oh, you did a bad job today. Oh, this was from ease. This is not from ease. And yeah, what came to me is that that's just totally made up. It's totally made up from our own thinking and our own judgments. And you know, our 5, which is no effort, 100% ease, could be someone else's like 2 or 1. And another thing that Michael responded to that was that the kind of like, the longer we live in that ease, the longer we come from ease and not pushing a result, the more that the kind of like the scorings will change as well. Because like, what seems to me like a 5, no ease now, will seem like a 1 to me in the future as well. As the more I live from ease, the more I kind of like create that from who I'm being and my position, the easier things will get, and the less I'll try. And that what I also find is, coming back to the game and in life, is that the less I try, the kind of the more I get a result, or the more I come from ease and abundance, the bigger the results I get, the more likely I am to get a result, because I've got less on it. I'm not pushing it away. I'm not pushing that result away because I've got too much focus on not having it and needing it. But it's interesting also saying that it's also important to say there's a difference between not doing anything and trying, or you know, like, if you want to achieve a goal, then you have to put in the hours. You know, there's no two ways about it. You have to put those hours in. But whether you put those hours in from ease, or whether you put those hours in from pushing, trying, efforting, which usually leads to a burnout, is totally up to you. It's totally up to you. And this is something that I'm really seeing myself, not just with myself, but with my clients and other people, is that, you know, that you can still put those hours in, you can still do the hours, but invariably, if I come from ease, I not only feel better, but I get better results, I get more done, and it's just a hell of a lot nicer than coming from pushing and coming from struggle. So yeah, that was my learnings for today from the Michael Neill course that I'm doing. If anything interests you in what I say, or particularly resonates with you, then obviously 100% feel free to comment. I would absolutely love to hear from you. Cheers, have a good one.